Local courts have presented us with an unacceptable contradiction. When considering the rights of the accused, misdemeanor sex crime cases are treated just like any other misdemeanor. But when considering the convicted, those cases are considered serious enough to warrant years-long, life-affecting penalty. Because of this contradiction, the state is able to impose serious penalty upon citizens without due process. It's simply a matter of the court juggling its labels in order to manipulate the system against the accused. Using the label petty when a judge wants to deny the right to a jury trial, but serious when that same judge has convicted the defendant and wants to impose a serious penalty. The only excuses for this heinous violation of a citizen's right to not be deprived of liberty without due process are the nature of the allegations and sympathy for female accusers. Those who would continue this pattern discuss criminal justice as a contest between victims and perpetrators, instead of a conflict between accusers and the accused. They use female vulnerability as an excuse to chip away at due process. They treat that standard as an attack on accusers instead of an effort to give the conflict a fair and complete hearing. Those are not good excuses. Sure, if you focus only on the story of the accuser, it's easy to ignore the humanity of the accused. It's easy to forget the presumption of innocence and reserve compassion only for alleged victims. It's easy to let sympathy spark the kind of outrage that makes you want to skip evaluation and go straight to retribution. It's a natural human response to claims of suffering in a protective society such as ours. That response tends to eclipse concern for the civil rights of the accused. However, compromise to due process does not protect anybody. It damages our society. A false accusation can happen to anyone. If you think through the list of people you know, you could probably recall somebody who has faced a false accusation. If we leave case evaluation to judges trained to afford accusers automatic credibility, how do we ever know if the convicted are actually guilty? If innocence does not keep a citizen on the right side of the law, what will? It damages the credibility of our system and of those in whose name that compromise is made. If an accuser's story is above reasonable scrutiny and evaluation by jury, how can we ever trust that the court's decision on it is just? Many mistakenly see justice as something to be obtained instead of achieved. Criminal trial as an accuser's quest for conviction, and the court's role as a facilitator of that quest. Getting a conviction is not justice. Neither is acquittal. Justice is achieved by completing a quest for the truth and then acting in response to what is found. Recognition of that is the reason the framers of our Constitution found due process so vital that they mentioned it not once, but twice, in the 5th Amendment and the 14th. The right to due process doesn't change because of the nature of an allegation or the accuser. In fact, such serious accusations should inspire us to greater caution so as to avoid wrongfully imposing serious penalty upon the innocent in our careless rush to respond to any accusation. Understand, we are never going to eliminate either all incidents of innocent people receiving punishment or guilty people escaping justice, because cases can be subjective, people can be biased or sneaky, and mistakes can be made with any case. What we can do is ensure that the reason innocent people sometimes receive punishment is not because they were denied the right to a fair trial. And the reason guilty people sometimes escape justice is not due to shoddy investigation and poor case handling by authorities accustomed to not having reliable, substantive evidence in court. The nature of the allegation does not define the nature of the accused. We cannot permit subjective emotional response to an accuser to reduce our acknowledgement and deference to every citizen's basic civil rights. Due process rights are not disposable. They cannot be compromised, but must be vigorously defended and diligently honored. If we allow our courts to fail to uphold that standard because of how we feel about the accuser, then we are no more righteous, no more validated, no more upstanding, and no more rational than an angry mob. To retain that as our community standard would be a serious crime.